Welcome to Brooker Ceramics, and this week we're making worry stones. This is something I wanted to try for a long time, and effectively they're a lump of clay that you begin to shape and polish into a really smooth kind of ergonomic surface. So I made a couple of these with my maker's mark on the back, as you can see here. And this video will just talk you through that process, but also some of my thoughts about ceramics and how I find pottery quite therapeutic. So if this is something that you enjoy, don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the bottom corner there, give us a like and sit back and enjoy the video. Whenever I sit down to work with clay, there's a kind of ritual that unfolds. It begins simply with small balls of clay, each carefully weighed out. These little spheres may not look like much right now, but as they are the start of something purposeful. Worry stones. Delicate, smooth objects designed to be held, to be felt, and to help release tension so we often carry in our hands and in our minds. As I shape these stones, there's something meditative about the process itself. The repetitive motions of rolling, pressing and sculpting remind me of the purpose of these pieces will serve. A worry stone is more than just an object. It's a companion in moments of stress. A tool to help ground us, to channel anxious energy into something physical, tangible and calming. For me, the act of making them feels just as therapeutic as using them. Clay has this incredible ability to bring us back to the present moment. The softness beneath your fingers, the resistance of the material, it's grounding. And it's not just a poetic thought. Studies have shown that working with your hands, particularly with natural materials like clay, can have real benefits for mental health. It slows the mind, encourages focus, and provides a creative outlet for emotions that might otherwise be hard to express. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? The imperfections. Each worry stone I make is unique and different, just as each and every experience of stress or anxiety is unique. There's no perfect form, just the gentle intention of creating something to help. For me, and maybe for someone else, it's a reminder that even the moments of worry, there's always something we can hold on to, something that connects us to calm. And so the process continues from simple clay. A small but meaningful tool emerges, shaped by hand and perhaps by hope. Once the worry stone begins to dry, the real transformation takes shape. This is when the rough edges soften and the grooves start to fade. I let the clay rest, allowing just enough time for the surface to firm up, but not so much that it loses the ability to change. It's a delicate balance, almost like life itself. With a wet sponge, I begin the process of smoothing. Each gentle passing over the surface, feels deliberate, almost meditative. The sponge softens and the contours and blends away the sharp edges, leaving the surface that's calming to both see and touch. It's a repetitive motion, one that shows my thoughts and focuses my attention. It's in this moment the world quiets down and it's just me. So now that we've got the basic form kind of roughed out, I've come in with a sponge and I've just smoothed down the edges. The final step in the process is to polish the surface of the clay. And this will make it really smooth, and so when the users are using it, it'll feel really tactile and nice. This is quite a simple process, but it takes a bit of time, and all we want to do is just buff that surface. So really simply, we just rub it with our fingers, and I'll show you in a second, and that will slowly remove all of the marks, and it will turn into a nice smooth surface that we can then begin to fire and then finally glaze. So let's take a look at that. So you can see here that got all these kind of sponge marks that are formed when we wiped it down. So now that the clay is leather hard, all we want to do is just come in with our index finger and begin polishing the surface up. I found this is the easiest way to do it. You know, I explored using like a cloth or something like that, but by smoothing it with your finger, it just ensures that you get rid of any of those grooves or creases in the surface, and also that it just forms the contours of your hand a bit nicer. It makes the product feel a lot more organic and natural. So you can see here how smooth this surface is compared to, say, the back. So what I'll do is continue this process until I've done the whole bit. Later, when the clay is fully dried, I return with my hands, polishing the surface with my fingers, feeling every curve and contour. There's something deeply human about this part of the process. No tools, just touch. It's a connection not only to the clay, but the moment. These repetitive motions become a kind of meditation, drawing me inwards, quieting the mind, and grounding me in the act of creating. Each polished stone is a reflection of the time and care. So you'll also find that buffing the surfaces like this, it actually heats up the clay slightly, and that makes it a lot more malleable and allows you to smooth it over even better. So a lot of these grooves and bumps that I've created, they may not be too conforming or ergonomic with the design of your hand or your fingers rubbing them. So by rubbing them by hand now, it really smooths out those edges and makes it feel much nicer in the hand. This work is a reminder that in repetition there is peace, in process there is healing, and in every motion there's an opportunity to breathe a little deeper, to feel a little calmer, and to create something that holds that calm within it. So the last step in the process is to add my maker's mark. All I wanted to do is find a relatively flat area, possibly
and
here.
There you have it.
Place my finger on the underside so that I grace it and I don't deform the shape.
Made to bring a little calm into the busy
world. Just press it in.
Thank you for joining me on this journey of creating worry stones and finding peace in the process. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe by clicking the icon in the bottom right hand of the corner. And until next time, keep creating.